LinkedIn believes B2B marketing can be B2 brilliant, B2 bold, and B2 breakthrough. How? With a platform purpose-built to make B2B marketing mean more for your business. A platform with tools to help you build better relationships with your key customers, to boost your buyer's journey while building your brand. A platform with trusted data and lead generation you need to beat your KPIs, drive ROI, and stand out amongst the competition. And with the targeting tools on LinkedIn, you can reach your precise audience right down to their job title, company name, location, and more to make sure your ads are always seen by those who matter. So let's get ready to B2 boldly go where no marketer has gone before, because LinkedIn is where B2B is everything it can be. Rethink your B2B marketing ads and get $100 credit on your next campaign. Go to linkedin.com/MPN to claim your credit. That's linkedin.com/MPN. Terms and conditions apply. Entrepreneurs Enigma is a podcast for the ups and downs of entrepreneurship. So the wins and the fails that we all face being entrepreneurs, and how we learn from adversity. Every week I talk to a different entrepreneur with a story to tell. I'm Seth Goldstein. Come with me on the journey. This is Entrepreneurs Enigma. Let's get started. Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of the Entrepreneurs Enigma podcast. I'm Seth, and today I am with the one, the only, Dave Ashworth, CPA, as his mild-mannered public accountant, who by day does crunches numbers, by night saves the world, right?
That's what I like to tell people.
Yeah, that's what everyone would like you to think, right?
That's right. That's right.
So Dave is a local to the Philadelphia area. He's not a tax accountant per se. He will advise you on how not to get in trouble with the IRS, but he likes to do the overall helping you with your business, which I think is really cool. Because everyone thinks accountants, they think, all right, tax season, all right, that's when I need an accountant. But it seems like there's a lot more to accounting than meets the eye. Just like Dave, right? So Dave, welcome to the show. How you doing, buddy?
I'm great. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, so all right, so let's fill you in. So you are the owner of Quantify, the Quantify Group. So
Yep.
it's a McNeil Lair group, no.
Mm-hmm.
That's a deep cut. That is a deep cut. I just showed my age right there. But no, it was the Macmillan Group. There's one on PBS. It was like a bunch of old stodgy guys. That was like something group.
Okay.
So
Yeah, that's not us. That's not us.
That's not you. That's not you. You're a young guy. You have a your own practice. But so you went to. Let's start back at the beginning. So you went to Widener. Now, did you go to Widener undergrad and CPA school? CPA school. Listen to me. I sound intelligent. CPA school. Is that your undergrad or is that your master's, or like what was Widener?
Yeah, Widener was just undergrad. I didn't do any masters. CPA
it's overrated. Yeah.
Yeah, CPA was just from work experience, taking a test. So
and I hear that
no
test
additional
is a beast,
school.
Though.
Oh.
That test is a beast.
Yeah, so I graduated in May, and I didn't start my job because I had a job upon graduation until September. And I studied, while everybody else is in summer, I studied like 8 to 10 hours a day, every day, the whole summer.
That test is no joke from what I hear.
It is a lot.
I know people who are EAs, where they...
Yep.
They're EAs. I don't know what that means. What's an EA?
Enrolled agent. It's more on the tax side.
They're on the more tax side. And like I know one guy, he's like, I want to do CPA. It's just, but, oi. And it's literally, he just says, oi. Like it's a lot. It's a lot. But once you get, you have to re-up it every year, or what?
I have to just get credits, so I have to do some continuing education to keep it. So that's not too bad.
It's their first initial hurdle. So did you ever do taxes in your entrepreneurial journey?
I did. So when I worked at a large firm in our area, I did an internship there when I was in school doing tax work, and then I went to work there out of school, and I was doing tax work then.
So you've paid your dues.
I did. I worked there for 3.5 years, and good experience, learned a lot, but it was a long 3.5 years.
Oh, I'm sure. It's long. Was it 4 months out of the year?
It was a lot.
It's like you don't see your girlfriend or your wife for a while.
Nothing.
It's like head down and into tax code.
Yep. It was wake up, go to work, come home, go to sleep, rinse and repeat for 4 months.
Man. And then you look it over to the UK, they send you a postcard, you owe us this, you pay it by mail and it's done.
Yeah.
It's like, why can't we be like that?
It's funny because I am, a CPA, and that's, my business is in accounting, but if they ever went to just a flat tax, I'd be all for it. Keep it simple.
Keep it simple. It's like, just tell state, you owe me, you do X, Y, Z, you owe us this. Fine.
Yeah.
Fine, I will hire an accountant to do other things now.
Right.
I mean, that's the thing I think we should boil it down to is that, let's go back to your journey here. So you left Widener, you went into the tax, into the tax law. I mean, you went into tax law, tax accounting. You dove into it. You did the 3 years of grunt work, doing taxes. Then did you jump into your own business right then, or how did you get to your own business?
Yeah, I mean that was kind of the plan, or what I wanted to do all along. I've always wanted to do that. So my goal was to work at the firm, get my CPA, because you have to have a certain amount of hours from a CPA firm, and then they sign off on it, the hours, and then you can actually get your license. So my goal was to get my license and then go out on my own.
Oh, so there's a catch-22 there. It's like you can't just go out. You have to pay your dues. You got to work in the industry. Yeah,
and you could, don't necessarily need my CPA now. So I didn't need to do that per se.
It looks good.
It does. And being a 25-year-old business owner, I needed all the help I could get to be like, okay, he knows what he's doing. So
yeah, because I love these 23-year-old Zs. They're like growth coaches, and I'm like,
right. What have you grabbed?
You haven't lived it long enough. We're going to take a quick break, hear from our sponsors, and get right back to the show. LinkedIn believes B2B marketing can be B2 brilliant, B2 bold, and B2 breakthrough. How? With a platform purpose-built to make B2B marketing mean more for your business. A platform with tools to help you build better relationships with your key customers, to boost your buyer's journey while building your brand. A platform with trusted data and lead generation you need to beat your KPIs, drive ROI, and stand out amongst the competition. And with the targeting tools on LinkedIn, you can reach your precise audience right down to their job title, company name, location, and more to make sure your ads are always seen by those who matter. So let's get ready to B2 boldly go where no marketer has gone before, because LinkedIn is where B2B is everything it can be. Rethink your B2B marketing ads and get $100 credit on your next campaign. Go to linkedin.com/MPN to claim your credit. That's linkedin.com/MPN. Terms and conditions apply.
Right.
It's like with the COVID vaccine, or these test strips. And now we're dating it. We're now putting a timestamp on this podcast, but they're good for an expiration date on these COVID tests. There's an expiration date doesn't matter because we only know they're good for this amount of time because it's only we're at the very beginning of everything. They're actually good for another 6 more months.
Right. Right.
So I mean, not to go all morbid there, but
sure.
So then you went out and you started. It was your first company, the Quantify Group.
It had a different name. I think it was called JDL, which was 2 other people I started it with, something or other, business advisory or something. I don't remember.
Not as cool. Not as hip.
It wasn't as cool. Had some change. So my partner Alex eventually came on. We were kind of running with it, and then we just wanted to develop a name that was, most accounting firms are names of the person, the partner's names.
It's like that in law.
And
we wanted. Do we cheat them and how? Not to be cut too, but yeah.
Right, and we wanted to just get something that wasn't just like Dave and Alex. That was a company that, because our goal is to eventually. Right, exactly. Yeah, and it's we want it to be a company and build a brand, not just us.
It's more fun. Yeah, which I was now. I mean, Goldstein Media is kind of a known brand. So I'm stuck with my last name, Media.
Right.
But if I wanted to rebrand, if I were to do it again, I would come up with a name, or at least do Goldstein Media LLC, then do a DBA and throw a fictitious name on top. But and that's about as far as my accounting law, small business law goes. Is I know those two words, DBA and fictitious.
That's pretty good.
Other than that, I'm like, to my credit, to my wife's credit, I can't take any credit for this. She LLC'd me. So and to this day, we haven't heard anything bad about it. Knock wood.
Yeah.
She read the book. She read the manuals. She somehow understood Pennsylvania state law, like what you needed to do in Pennsylvania to be LLC. Yep. And she just did. We didn't do LegalZoom. We just did it. We did we did it the official way. She said, sign here, sign here, sign here, and to this day we pray that we did it right.
Yeah. Well,
so Dave,
as long as no one's bothering you, you're good for now.
Exactly. I figure, as long as they get their money, it's fine. So then, so now you're the Quantify Group. Yeah. And so you're not doing taxes. You do your own. I'm sure you do your own. Do you do your own taxes?
Alex usually helps me on those. Yeah. So we did tax. So when we started the business, we were a tax firm. That's all we did.
Oh, really? So
that's what I knew.
Yes, yeah.
And that's what he knew. And so we were just like, we'll just go down this path. This was 10 and a half years ago. Outsourced accounting wasn't really a thing then.
No, a lot of things weren't around 10 years ago. It doesn't seem like that long ago, but 10 years ago was 2012. A lot of things, like even Twitter was like brand new.
Yeah, it was just a different things, very, very traditional accounting. And so, as we kind of moved along in the business, I started seeing companies pop up that did outsourced accounting. We started to see more of a need for businesses that we were working with, like everything's a mess and they have no insights, they need help.
You should have seen my QuickBooks at one point. Oh my God, it was a nightmare.
Most people are that way. But we just decided that we needed to pivot and really move into where we thought the future was heading and where we could bring the most value. And so we did that.
So when you mean outsourced accounting, because the word accounting is used, people still think tax.
Yep.
But outsourced accounting, what is that?
So that's more on so there is, there's the tax piece, which is everybody knows what that is. And then the accounting piece is like keeping your books, basically, as on a simple level. So outsourced accounting is instead of hiring someone in-house, because a lot of businesses that we work with don't need to hire somebody in-house. They can outsource it to a company like ours, and then we handle their accounting, their bookkeeping, their books, all of that stuff for them.
And so where's the excitement? I'm sorry. I have to ask because I'm like, when I think, cool. I have friends that I have friends that work on the lacrosse team in Delaware, and they majored in accounting. I'm like, wait, you're on the lacrosse team, and that's just not busting on lacrosse players or anything like that. But then you're going to accounting and you're doing tax stuff, or you're doing bookkeeping. And and full disclosure, I'm a whole right brain kind of guy. So anything with numbers, I think is dull. So
sure. So where it's exciting for me is, I feel like the numbers in a business can paint a picture of the business, where it was at, where it is, and where it's going, and you can use that information. And so you're a data
guy. You're a data guy.
Data, but also just helping business owners understand their business more than what's just up in their head, and letting the numbers speak for themselves, and really building a partnership with the business. When we were doing tax, it was once a year, get us your information, we'll pop it into some software, and we'll spit out a tax return. Now that we're working with clients, it's every month diving into their numbers, getting them information, fielding questions, pointing things out. They'll call us as things come up, and we love that interaction, that partnership that we build with them. And so that's what's exciting for us as a company. For me personally, whether it's accounting or something else, like I like building a business. So that's what I like. I don't really do a ton of accounting work anymore. Most of our team is handling that. So I'm focused on marketing and building the business and developing relationships. And that's what I like. That's what I like to do.
How big's your team?
There's 5 of us.
Wow. All in-house or contractors or
No,
all
they're
in?
all. So it's Alex and I, and then we have 3 full-time employees.
Wow, good for you. Because my whole I feel like there's 2 different ways of going about it. You do 1099s or you do W2s.
Yep.
And I've never done the W2 side of things. With Goldstein Media, we're a 9-person company, but we're all 1099 each other. They can go do their own thing on their own terms, but like I bring them in. They're more partners in the business. Like my designer, I split things 50-50 on the project. You get half, I get half. Let's get the job done, kind of thing.
Yep.
But and I know that's one way. No, there's this W2. Here's your salary, and here's our bottom line and stuff like that. So, what is the best thing? What is your favorite thing about being an entrepreneur versus because I mean, it's a certain kind of crazy.
100% it is. It is.
It is.
What is the best thing? That's a good question. The word that comes to mind is freedom.
Yes.
I feel like I'm in control of where we're going next.
Of your destiny,
And that feels good to me. Like when we fail, that's on me. When we succeed, that's on me. But I have that control. If I want to work more or work less, I have that control to do those things. And so there's so much that encompasses just the word freedom. So I would say freedom would be.
That's awesome. Now, so on the flip side, what's the scariest thing about being an entrepreneur?
I think it's that same thing is, you're kind of responsible for all of these things that need to be taken care of. And then as you add employees, you're responsible for them, responsible for continuing to find business and bring on clients. So there's always something to do. It's never like, okay, we're good. The business can just run. It's like, okay, there's always the next thing. A client's calling with an issue, or a partner something's happening there, or we're not bringing in enough business. There's always something.
There is always something.
Falls. You're taking on all of the good side of it, but you're also taking on all of the risk too. And so there's always the other side of it.
I always find it find it fun because I've been doing this for 14 years. 15 years. I can upgrade myself by a digit here. 15 years doing Goldstein Media. Never meant to do it full time. But never meant to do it full time. It was always a goal was to get a job doing web design for someone else. And then it never happened.
Here we are.
And here we are, exactly. But I've always found it fascinating with every entrepreneur I talk to. The answers are similar when it comes to what's the best, what's the worst, or what's the scariest thing about being an entrepreneur. But it's their outlook on it. Like some people go deeper and say it's the fear is, and they go for 15 minutes on the fear.
Yeah.
Others go 15 minutes on the positive. And then there's some people like you, they're like, it's the same thing. Here's a 2-minute nugget of the best and the worst of it. And guess what? It's the same damn thing.
It is. It is.
Freedom.
And I love
freedom is both,
I love all of it though. You need to be able to take, I'm sure you would agree with this, to be like an entrepreneur. You need to be able to take it all, right? You're going to have the highest of...
And there's days when you lose sleep. But
100%. You're going to have the highest of highs where wow, look what I'm building and, look at the money I'm making, etc. High highs. And you're going to have lows where it's like if we lose another client, I'm going to have to fire some people. And that's a terrible space too, right? But those are the ups and downs, and you have to be able to take them all in stride. And that takes a bit of a different person to do that, in my opinion.
It does. And we're going to see a bunch of entrepreneurs coming out now with the recession. And I was reading Insider, and they were take that for what it's worth. I read it in Insider. So, Business Insider. And it's sort of they're predicting more entrepreneurs, which is good for you because they're not going to know what the hell they're doing.
Right.
And they're like, go call Dave because you need your books. I mean, because I remember when I started out, I was like, we did everything in Excel.
That's okay. It's a start.
But the problem was that if something happened to my wife, I wouldn't know where the hell to look. Whereas QuickBooks is, I can have someone like Dave come in and say, here's everything. Take it, figure out where the hell I am, tell me what I need to know, And like, I can never replace my wife for other reasons, but in the business, she is replaceable because I can just say, I can input someone else in, which is nice. But like I said, honey, you're not replaceable. So, but then here's the question: what is the most important thing to carry with you all the time?
Carry with me, like physically,
or metaphysically, or
no? So either. I mean, physically would be physically. It would just be my phone. There's always something to look at. The phone. Non-physical carry with me. I would say just always being aware of my reputation. I feel like a reputation is something that can make or break, anything that you're trying to do.
If you don't maintain your easily.
For sure. And I think that you need to always be looking at the decisions you make as a business owner, as a business, as a boss. Like, is this going to maintain and uphold my reputation, or is this going to tear it down? Because as soon as your reputation is damaged and go in the wrong direction, everything is going to fall apart, in my opinion.
And it's really hard. It's easier to fix your credit than it is to fix your reputation.
100%.
And fixing your credit's not easy.
No, it's not. It's not. So I'd say that. Yeah. Carry my reputation with me and guard that with my decision making.
Absolutely, that's a great one. So Dave, where can people find you online? Like, where do you want people to find you and connect?
Yeah, I mean, I spend a lot of time on LinkedIn, so I'm always talking to people on there, connecting with people. I love hearing other entrepreneurs' journeys and what they're up to. Like, that's fascinating to me. So LinkedIn's a good spot.
And that's in your Ashworth there.
Yeah, I think that's it. I'm
looking at your screen, looking at the other screen, Ashworth. I like that.
Yep.
It's like a Simpsons character, Ashworth.
That's right. It sounds like it. And then our website, the quantifygroup.com.
So with
you can find information about us.
Quantifygroup.com.
Thequantifygroup.com is
That's a good name.
Information about us.
It's a good, strong name because you're quantifying something. It
fits. It fits what we're doing. I can't take credit for it. We had one of Alex's friends years ago. We were like, we need a new name, and he started brainstorming, came up with this full list of things, and that was the one that we landed on. And we like it. It's been good.
And I have a friend who is in one of my networks with me, and she's a naming expert. That's all she does. And she was on the Entrepreneurs Enigma. I can't say my own podcast name. She was on a few episodes ago, Mara Rada, and she's like, it's all about the name.
Yeah, it's so hard to come up with a name. Like, we just spent
Well, look at me. I look at Goldstein Media. How original is that? In fairness, I came up with that when I was a senior in college.
Okay.
And I had a domain name since 2005, and you don't screw around with your domain name. Because now my website ranks despite itself because it's such an old domain name.
Right.
Like, there's stuff people you also know when people are full of it when they come to you and they're like, we found a broken link on this page from 2009.
Right.
Can you replace this? And I'm like, no, I'm not touching that. I don't even know if I touch that page if it's going to bring down my site. Like, that's back in the cobwebs. Like, no, I'm not going to put your link there. No one even know. How did you even find that page? Oh, it's insane. But entrepreneurship's fun. It's terrifying. It's all of the above.
It is all the above. You better be ready for a ride. But, and I'm sure you will agree, like, once you do it, you can't go back. I couldn't go back. I like, if for some reason, I mean, we've been at it for a while. We're in a good spot. But if this didn't work, it would be some other venture. I'd be doing something else. Like, I can't envision a life going and working for someone else at this point. Best decision I've ever made.
There you go. And on that note, we'll see everyone next week. Thanks, Dave, for being on.
Thank you.
That was a great show. Hey, if you're enjoying Entrepreneurs Enigma, please give us a review on the podcast directory of your choice. We're on all of them. And these reviews really help others find the show. Also, if you're getting value from the show and want to buy me a coffee, go to the show notes and click on the link to help me stay awake while I bring you more great episodes to your ears. That's in the show notes, and I look forward to the next episode. Take care, guys. Goldstein Media hopes you have enjoyed this episode. This podcast is one of the many great shows on the MPN Marketing Podcast Network.
Hey there. We have got another fantastic marketing podcast for you, if I do say so myself. I'm Carrie Barrett. I'm the host of the VIQ podcast. VIQ stands for Video IQ. And in each episode, I teach you how to create standout DIY video. I'm talking about turning your phone into a money-making machine. And this is for all parts of your funnel. Social right at the top, all the way down through live streaming at the bottom. And just like this podcast, the VIQ podcast is a proud member of the Marketing Podcast Network. You will love it. Subscribe to the VIQ podcast today. All you have to do is check out the video version on youtube.com/I am Carrie Barrett, or you can search for the VIQ podcast wherever you get your podcasts.
This podcast is heard along the Marketing Podcast Network. For more great marketing podcasts, visit marketingpodcasts.net.